Good morning, welcome back. It is Tuesday, so our weekly Tuesday stream coming up. Today we're going to be taking a few movements out of the 18 form set that we call Shibashi. Now we won't do the entire 18 set, it's difficult to get that into a fairly short time block. So let's begin with breath today. Big breath in, and let it out. One more time. As your hands reach the bottom, close your eyes. Just let your arms and hands hang loose at the sides. And let's find the edges of our feet. Shifting your weight a little side to side, forward and back. Maybe circling around a bit. Just find those edges, getting ourselves centered, balanced and grounded. And let's begin to notice the breath. Breathing in through the nose if you're able. You can take the out breath through either your mouth or nose. Our beginning sequence will be a little bit different this morning because much of what we do in that first breathwork sequence is actually in our set today, so we won't repeat them. Let's come back to the room, open your eyes, and let's begin to turn from side to side. Just letting the arms swing free to begin. Get the body warmed up a little bit. And let's take the hands into loose fists and begin tapping on the body. Tapping on the lower belly and lower back. A very common warm-up move we call knocking on the door of life. Tapping in the front in the area of our lower dantian, our energy center. And tapping in the back in the kidney area. Kidneys, the governors of our energy. Take the front hand up the body just a bit, coming up in the shoulder area, locating that little hollow area right beneath the collarbone. And point of the lung meridian, also the location of a couple of key acupressure points, help stimulate the immune system. We are coming into that season that takes on just a little more importance than we may tend to give it the rest of the year. Let's come up over the shoulder, tapping into that area in the upper shoulder, base of the neck called the neck well. Tapping here to release tension in the back, upper back, neck, and shoulders. And let's go backwards, come on back to the front. Continuing to tap in the lower back, but up high here, near the shoulder. And then back down to the belly. Get a bit of brief posture work in as well today. We don't always get to those in these shorter sessions, but we'll try to get at least a couple postures in today. And let's float the hands back off the body. Turn that tap into a little bit of a reach. A little extra turn of the spine as we continue to loosen up. And let's work our way back to stillness. and movement together, breathing in. Spread the elbows apart, squeeze the shoulder blades together. As you breathe out, fold all that back in and gently round the back. Call this spinal cord breathing. Now, lock that into our brain that we're moving with the breath. Let's take one more. And when you get to the bottom of this one, just stay put there. Let the arms extend. Just kind of let them hang for a moment. And then as we slowly roll up, the arms extended, let the hands rise into our commencing move. Breathing in as the hands rise. Drawing back in toward the body. Breathing out as the hands descend. If you've encountered the forms from the 18 form set before, you'll note that I'm taking a few liberties with the order, what I pick and choose to do today, and we'll probably insert a couple of things that are not normally part of that sequence, but tend to flow very well with it. And let's get one of those now. Next time the hands come up, let's let the arms open up. Come on back in, give the tree a little hug, and then melt down. Second movement in the set is usually called broadening the chest. I like to add this little piece on that gets us to melt all the way down. Allows us to extend that breath, both the in-breath and the out-breath. Breathing in as we rise and expand. Breathing out as we relax and release. Last time, hands coming down. Let's bring them back up again. Open up and then take one hand up overhead. And let that one push as we do a little side bend. Breathe in. Let the hands change places. One sets up overhead, the other one below. A little side bend as we paint the rainbow. No need to actually stop at the top, just blow right through it. Breathing in as we transition across, and then breathing out on the little side bend. You don't have to take that bend very far. Just keep the movement matching up with the breath. Breath in as we come across. Breath out on the stretch. Let's take one more back to the other side. Let the hands level out at about shoulder height. And both hands come down together. Hands cross at the bottom and then lift straight up, like you're peeling off a shirt. And then at the top, open up and release down. Breathing in as we rise. Open up, breathe out as we separate the clouds. Let's take one more here. And this time just release down to shoulder height. And then close the arms in like you're grabbing a ball. Spin the ball part way so that one hand's on top and one hand is on the bottom of the ball. And take your bottom hand, just let that one float out. And it's go on as far as you can reach, bring it on back. Turn the front hand palm up and let the two palms pass each other. Other side, breathe in and breathe out as we fend off the monkey. Chances are you don't have an actual monkey running around your house. But most of us are prone to the overthinking of the monkey mind. Just think of pushing that away for a few minutes. Sometimes when you do this movement, you might notice a little tingly sensation as the hands pass each other. In the middle of our hand, there's a very significant energy point. And when those points in each hand pass each other, sometimes you'll actually feel that. Let's take one more on each side. Let your bottom hand come to the waist. Turn that foot out and let the other hand push. Take a breath in. Take the push hand back on your waist. Turn the foot in, turn the other foot out, and the other hand pushes. Breathe in. Breathe out. In a strict Shibashi set, the name of this movement is twist waist and push palm, with the emphasis being on only turning from the waist. I generally decide instead to put the emphasis on the breath. And this makes it easier to coordinate that breath. One more across to the other side, and we're going to change this up a little bit. As you draw that hand back, put it behind your back, and with the other hand, turn palm up and lift. Breathe in, same as before, as we come across. Switching hands, lift. One more time, coming across. Now as you come across to the other side, let both hands float up and over the shoulder and look between them as if you're gazing at the moon. Breathing in, coming down through center, going to the other shoulder, breathing out. Beginning a 40-hour retreat a little later today. And it will include some gazing at the moon that's full tomorrow night. Let's take one more on each side. Bring the hands back to center. Turn the palms toward each other like you're holding a ball. Recenter your feet. Take a peek at your top fingers, whichever direction they're pointing. Carry your ball to that side. And then turn both thumbs to the sky. Pull the hands across the body. When they get to the other side, they just change places and come back. Let's pick the breath back up, breathing in across in one direction. And breathing out, going the other way. This is one of many variations of a form that shows up in many sets called hands pushing clouds or cloud hands. Hands play with clouds. You had to pick one movement out of the catalog of thousands of movements for some instant relaxation. This might be it. Just let your body gently flow back and forth as your hands cross back and forth. Take one more over and back. You get back over to the other side. Recapture that ball. Swing it to the front. Spin it partway. Flatten the palms and let them float down. Now let's step out on the diagonal and with both hands, push. Breathe in, withdraw the hands. Breathe out, push. Like you're pushing a huge wave of water. It feels like you didn't step out quite the right distance. Just adjust. One more push. Breathing. Bring those wings together. Let's open up one last time. The hands come back together. Draw everything back in. Step in, and let's repeat that on the other side. Stepping out, pushing the wave. One more push. And next time the hands come out, press them together and then spread open the wings. So open up one more time. Bring the hands back together and then draw everything back into the center. As the hands reach the bottom, connect the thumb and first two fingers, and then up on the sides. Fly like the crane. Breathing in as we rise. Breathing out as the hands come back down. Just relax the hands at the top. Reconnect them at the bottom, forming the crane head. Now, come with me if you're able. As the wings open up, rise up onto the balls of your feet. As the wings come down, lower the heels. Breathing in, breathing out. And again, come with me if you're able. So wings come up, and as they start back down, shift your weight to one side, emptying out the other leg, and as the wings come back up, we'll let our crane stand in the pond on one leg. Key part here is the weight shift. Let's take one more on each leg. And folding forward. The hands to loose fists. Pull them up one side like we're going to turn a giant wheel. Down the other side. Breathing in. 6 to 12 on the clock. 12 back down to 6 on the breath out. Turning the wheel of light. Let's take one more in this direction. Hands get down to the bottom. Let's change direction. Still breathing in as we rise. Take it over the top, breathing out back to the bottom. Let's take two more. The hands slowly roll back up to vertical. Lifting one hand and the opposite leg. Breathing in. Bounce the ball. Breathe out. Breathing in. Bounce the ball. Just like with the crane. First part here is shifting that weight. Emptying out the other leg, making it easy to pick up. Let's do one more on each side. And then both hands come up. At the top, palms turned toward the floor, press the palms. Let's add on as we come up to the top. Again, raise the heels if you can. Lower the heels as you press the palms. Let's take one more. And step out a little wider than hips. We'll do a single posture today. Let the hands come up on the sides, and as they fold in, let the arms cross over, and then pull them in and let them hover right over the heart. Sink down just a little bit, put a little bit of tension in the upper legs. Upper torso is vertical, gaze is forward, chin is tucked. You can imagine a string pulling up your head, tucking that chin, lengthening the neck and spine. And we're just going to pause here for a few breaths. I'd like to include a little bit of Zhan Zhuang in all of our sessions. This improves our posture, builds strength in the legs. Throughout the standing pieces, you can either keep just a soft gaze forward, or often we'll just close our eyes. And while it may look like standing still, you begin to notice that your feet are doing an awful lot of work, making little micro adjustments to keep you upright. Take one more big breath in. And as you release the breath, let everything relax. Step back into a neutral posture. And let's go into our closing. Breathing in, hands rise. Turn the palms over. Palms drift down, regulating the chi. One more time. As we reach bottom, toss one hand away. Let it come all the way overhead, back to the front, down the center line of the body, centering the chi. Let's do one more of those on each side. Last one. As the hands get back together at the bottom of this one, put them together hand over hand. Place those over the lower belly. Step your feet in just a little closer. And close your eyes. And we'll breathe it to the finish. Oftentimes when we get here, you'll feel yourself start to sway a little bit. Just relax into that. Just sway like a branch in the breeze. Let's take one more deep breath in. And as you release that breath, release the hands back to your sides. Open your eyes. Give everything a little shake out. And thanks for joining me today. Have a great rest of your week. Namaste. I'll see you next Tuesday.